Hello, my name is Steve Carniato. I'd like to welcome you to Team 13's design review of Project 56 Quality Control using Timing Analysis. Our project is sponsored by Chinmay Trivedi, a senior test engineer for VMware. And essentially, our task is to analyze test logs produced by each VMware build. We then are going to use a machine learning algorithm to detect deviations from the norm in the build log, and also to detect failures. Fortunately for us, since the last project review, the main requirements for the program have not changed, although the implementation of it has changed a little bit. Basically, the key requirements of our system are to monitor a target directory looking for new log files. And when we detect a new log file, we will parse it and get the different timings. And at that point, we will then send it to our analysis. And the analysis will use the data to learn the new characteristics of good and bad data, as well as to detect failures within the log file or deviations from normal timing. At this point, the system will then send any anomalies detected to various users as defined by Chinmay or whoever is administrating the test files at the time. Ultimately, the goal of our project is to provide an automated and efficient way to notify the test and development team of any potential errors in the latest build. While our focus is not necessarily finding the root cause of the errors, hopefully we can save them a little bit of time by narrowing their search.
My name is Elijah Haddam, and I'll be doing the design and architecture section of our project review. Not much has changed since the last time we did a project review. Still 5 modules to our project, the first being the data parsing module, which is essentially just takes in a log file, parses it looking for relevant information such as timestamps, errors, exceptions, etc. That data then gets stored into our second module, the data storage module, which is literally just a database with tables that allows us to keep and store our parsed information. The analysis module reaches into the database, pulls out the data, and attempts to identify anomalies. As far as compared to previous runs, was this new log file did it have any anomalous tests? Where did some run longer? Did some error out, etc.? If there are anomalies, then the email notification module is supposed to send out a email to specified individuals to notify them that hey, something went wrong. A bonus to this project is a UI module that will allow easier access to dropping log files as opposed to dropping them into a directory, drop them into the UI. But our sponsor has said that that's more or less a bonus. If everything else gets done, then we'll do the UI module.
Hello, this is Frank Levesque doing timeline and milestones. Semester 1 remains the same, obviously. Semester 2 is a little bit different than what's listed. In weeks 1 through 3, we had complete analysis module where we would be completely finished with the machine learning part of our project. And we also had begin notification and UI module. Actual timeline is a little bit different. We didn't really complete the analysis module until around week 10, week 12, and it went through multiple revisions where it had different classifiers, so it actually had different levels of being near completion, if that makes sense. We didn't begin the notification module until week 5, and there's still progress being done there. There's not much work in UI module. And to finish off this project, we're going to have to talk to Chinmay for more feedback about how to proceed.
This is Risk Management. I'm Sam Nixon. One of the risks that we identified that's still been an issue is the inability to build optimal cohesion because we're working remotely. Furthermore, all of our co-location is virtual. There's no physical co-location. This leads to delays in communication. Furthermore, Because our team is spread across multiple time zones, we have conflicting priorities, and one of the biggest conflicting priorities is the lack of alignment between our schedules. Additionally, we identified several technical risks. Originally, lack of technical knowledge around machine learning was a big risk. However, we've closed that gap significantly. Furthermore, because our project is written in Python, another risk was around knowledge specific to Python, and we've also closed that gap. The remaining major risks that we deal with are lack of real-world development experience. We still have limited time to acquire any additional skills and close any additional knowledge gaps. And finally, but not insignificantly, there have been several requirement changes that have caused us to modify the design of the program itself.
Hey, this is Ron Miller, and we'll be talking about our process for semester 2. So we're still using the Scrum Kanban approach. We're actually doing 2-week sprints, and we're still using the Asana collaboration tool, where you can see in the screenshot in the slide is actually a snippet of our board. In our 2-week sprints, we will have 2 meetings with just the team. That's the sprint planning and the weekly progress update. So as the week plays out, we'll first have a sprint review meeting with our sponsor, where we can demonstrate any additional functionality and ask any feedback or get any clarifications that we need. Immediately afterwards, just the team will go into sprint planning. We'll take that feedback that we got from the sponsor. We'll plan out what items we think we can accomplish and what we need to accomplish within the next 2 weeks. We'll add all of those items to our Asana board, and then we'll assign them to ourselves and start working through them. In the middle of the week, we'll have a process update, where we basically just have a touch base meeting, any more clarifications, are we having any issues, things like that. Outside of that, our communication typically happens in the Slack channel, which is nice given our time differences and our scheduling conflicts that we may have. All of our artifacts are still managed using the Google Team Drive and Bitbucket. That hasn't changed from the first semester. I think if we had to go back and do it all over, we would probably use the same process. Our main issue is just our timing and our conflicting schedules. We're working from West Coast to East Coast, and that just makes it difficult. But otherwise, everything seems to be going as planned.